Welcome back to Creative Alternatives. Today we are exploring how AI can fight climate change. The clock is pounding in our ears. Every day feels louder, hotter, more fragile, as if the planet itself is crying out and we're only now realizing those cries were warnings we were never meant to ignore. In the middle of this rising storm of fear and urgency, there's a force quiet, invisible, underestimated that may become the most powerful ally humanity has ever had. Artificial intelligence, once treated as a distant marvel or a spark of science fiction, is now stepping forward as a real, tangible lifeline in the fight against climate change, a lifeline woven not from hope alone, but from data, precision, and relentless possibility. It is the light flickering in the darkness, not a miracle, but a tool one capable of helping us rewrite the ending we fear is already sealed. For the first time in human history, we are facing a global threat so immense that no single nation, no single movement, no single breakthrough can stop it alone. The climate crisis doesn't sleep. It doesn't pause. It does not wait for our politics or our disagreements. It burns forests while we argue, melts ice while we hesitate, and floods cities while we cling to old habits. But AI doesn't argue. It doesn't hesitate. It doesn't cling. It learns, adapts, recalibrates, and accelerates everything our fractured human systems struggle to do at the scale required. And that is where its true power begins to surface. AI can take the chaos of billions of data points, temperatures, storm patterns, carbon levels, ocean shifts, human behavior, industrial output, and weave them into clarity. It can detect threats long before human eyes perceive them. Imagine hurricanes predicted not hours earlier, but weeks. Wildfires sense the moment a spark becomes a whisper of smoke, failing crops detected while they can still be saved, energy grids balanced before they collapse. This isn't fantasy. It's happening quietly already in labs and satellites and monitoring stations around the world. AI becomes the vigilant guardian we desperately need when our own vigilance slips beneath the weight of daily life. Yet what makes this technological force truly transformative isn't its speed or scale, it's its ability to help us see the consequences of our choices in real time. To show us our future before we stumble into it, AI simulations can paint the world we will inherit based on the decisions we make today. Foi. Tinder. But not abstract predictions, but vivid portraits, cities swallowed by water, forests lost to flame, fragile ecosystems thinning into silence. Or, alternatively, cities powered by renewable energy, humming with clean efficiency, communities shielded by early warnings and adaptive infrastructure, landscapes rejuvenated by smarter, sustainable land use. AI turns the future into something we can touch, examine, fear, or choose. And choice-empowered, informed choice is humanity's greatest weapon. But AI is not here to replace us, it is here to amplify us, to make human action faster, sharper, more effective. Climate scientists armed with AI can analyze decades of data in minutes. Farmers using AI-driven tools can grow food with half the water and a fraction of the emissions. Energy companies can predict consumption patterns with staggering accuracy, cutting waste that once felt unavoidable. Cities can optimize transportation networks, reducing the invisible choking smog that shortens millions of lives each year. Even in the poorest, most climate-vulnerable regions, AI can guide where to place emergency shelters, how to distribute limited resources, and when to evacuate before a disaster strikes. Technology becomes a shield for those who have always stood on the front lines. And yet, as powerful as AI is, its strength is not automatic. It is a tool, and tools reflect the hands that wield them. If we deploy AI with greed or carelessness, it could deepen inequalities or consume energy in ways that worsen the crisis. But if we wield it with intention, compassion, and collective will, it becomes something extraordinary, a force multiplier of human resilience. The truth is this: climate change is no longer a distant threat, it is here roaring at our borders, but so is our response. AI is giving us the chance to turn fear into fuel, data into direction, and urgency into action. It is not salvation. It is an opportunity, a rare, powerful opportunity to reimagine how we protect our world and ourselves. Our future is not written yet, and AI is one of the ink bottles still full. The Earth is aching, but it is also whispering solutions hidden inside patterns, numbers, and signals so faint that no human eye could ever decipher them alone. This is where artificial intelligence becomes something more than innovation. It becomes translation. It becomes interpretation. It becomes the voice that turns raw environmental chaos into comprehension and actionable truth. In a world gasping beneath rising heat, AI stands like a lens, sharpening our view so we cannot look away. Think about energy, the lifeblood of every home, every street, every hospital, every dream. For decades, our energy systems have operated like blind giants, consuming, burning, wasting. The Earth has paid for our inefficiencies with scorched fields and poisoned air. But now, AI can orchestrate energy through clarity instead of guesswork. Smart grids powered by learning algorithms can shift power exactly where it is needed, minimizing waste with microscopic precision. When demand surges, when wind slows, when sunlight dims, AI recalculates in milliseconds. It sees what humans overlook. It adjusts before anything spirals. What was once brute force becomes elegant balance. Renewable energy, wind, solar, tidal, geothermal was once dismissed as unstable, intermittent, too unpredictable for global dependency. But AI erases that uncertainty. It predicts wind direction days in advance. It calculates solar intensity minute by minute. It forecasts demand, distribution, storage, strain. Suddenly, renewable power is not fragile, it's formidable. The planet does not need to burn to survive. AI helps prove that truth not just scientifically, but systemically. Imagine a community powered entirely by sun and wind, guided by intelligent systems that regulate every watt with fierce precision. Homes glowing at night without fossil fuel sacrifice. Hospitals running life-saving machines without carbon debt. Factories producing goods without suffocating the air. This is not utopia. It is architecture technical, mathematical, logistical, built through AI's silent labor. While cities breathe cleaner air, AI journeys into Earth's wounded landscapes. Forests that once thrived now crack beneath heat and drought. Rivers shrink into ghost lines. Animals scatter, searching for safe ground. But AI maps these wounds. Satellites scan forests in microscopic detail. Machine learning detects illegal logging from single pixel changes. Poachers once hidden can be tracked through predictive behavioral mapping. Endangered species no longer disappear in silence. Their patterns become traceable, their risks understood. Conservationists armed with intelligence become proactive instead of reactive. Agriculture, too, undergoes a quiet revolution. A farmer standing in a dry, failing field often sees only loss. AI sees opportunity hidden in soil chemistry, root structures, weather gradients, nutrient maps. It recommends water levels plant by plant. It identifies disease days before symptoms surface. It measures growth from satellite scans. Harvests that once relied on hope now rely on insight. Crops waste less water. Soil stays healthier. Food grows without burning the earth to ash. Millions of people eating because machines learned what humans could not detect quickly enough. But perhaps most profound is AI's ability to measure what we cannot see. Carbon itself, emissions drifting invisibly through our air, are now trackable at street-level resolution. AI can detect which factories pollute most, which neighborhoods suffer most, which transportation systems harm most. Politicians cannot hide behind ambiguity when the data is mercilessly clear. Communities no longer plead without proof. AI hands them evidence that burns hotter than speeches, yet with this clarity comes painful truth. We will confront numbers that reveal how deeply we have wounded the world. We will face irrefutable data showing that the crises we experience did not arrive suddenly. They accelerated over decades of denial, and that reckoning will hurt. But it is necessary, because only through that discomfort can action become undeniable. This is the paradox of AI. Its greatest gift is not its intelligence, but its exposure. It reveals where we stalled, where we wasted, where we lied to ourselves. It forces honesty, and honesty is where transformation begins. AI is the mirror held to our past and the compass aimed at our future. It does not promise an easy path, but it promises sight, and sight is what allows humanity to change course before the point beyond return. This is how AI fights not by erasing consequences, but by illuminating them. The window is closing. We can feel it in the scorching summers, the violent storms, the disappearing winters, the suffocating silence where birds once sang. Humanity is standing at the edge of an irreversible threshold, and every instinct inside us screams that we are running out of time. But right alongside that fear lies something magnificent, something electric. AI is not simply helping us react to climate change, it is helping us redesign the very structure of civilization. It is a second chance disguised as technology. Right now, one of the most powerful uses of artificial intelligence is prediction not just of heat waves or floods, but of how our choices ripple outward. Imagine modeling the next 50 years of existence. Imagine seeing what happens if we remove half of global emissions, or shift entirely to green transportation, or redesign cities around sustainability. AI makes those futures visible long before they unfold. The world stops being something we dread and becomes something we can sculpt. Urban spaces transform first. AI-driven architecture analyses wind flow, natural lighting, public movement, and energy efficiency before a single building rises. Cities once choking with smog evolve into breathable, walkable, self-cooling ecosystems. Awesome! Roads change shape. Traffic reroutes intelligently. Public transportation synchronizes movement like pulse lines. Energy, waste, water, food. Every system that once strained under human unpredictability becomes predictable, balanced, humane. And then AI steps into the crisis of consumption. For generations, our society has been built on extraction, dig, burn, discard, but AI introduces a different economy, circular, restorative, precise. Material tracking algorithms can follow a product from creation to recycling, ensuring nothing ends its life as trash. AI can identify what metals can be reused, which plastics can live again, which textiles can avoid landfills. Waste stops being waste, it becomes resource reborn. This is civilization re-engineered from scarcity into abundance. But the most emotional victory comes when AI helps protect the people who have lost the most. There are families who watch the ocean swallow their homes inch by inch, farmers who watch their land dry into fractured dust, children who choke on polluted air that will weaken their lungs for life. For life, these are not abstractions, they are lived tragedies. AI can place evacuation routes where danger will strike next. It can distribute aid not by assumption, but by real-time need. It can pinpoint communities that have suffered in silence and amplify their urgency with undeniable data. Climate justice becomes measurable, not symbolic, and then there is the emotional transformation, the realization that humanity is not helpless. AI shows us pathways we once believed were impossible. It reveals that sustainability is not sacrifice, it is evolution. Think of wildlife corridors mapped by predictive algorithms, pathways carved so animals can migrate safely across continents, reshaped by development. Think of coral reefs digitally reconstructed and monitored until restoration becomes measurable success rather than uncertain hope. Think of forests planted where tree survival rates are maximized, not guessed. AI does not simply save, it heals. But this future is not promised. Technology alone cannot rewrite destiny. The AI needs human intention, human ethics, human will to guide it. We decide whether AI becomes a shield or a weapon. We choose whether it reduces emissions or increases them, whether it narrows inequality or widens it, whether it protects life or prioritizes profit. AI is powerful, but it is not moral on its own. Its morality is borrowed from us. So this moment matters, because history will remember not what AI could have done, but what we allowed it to do. We are living through the final drafts of our future, and we hold the pen with something sharper than ink, data, science, innovation, imagination. AI gives us a chance to respond faster than nature is collapsing. It gives us the ability to make choices not from fear but from understanding. It gives us a path where survival is not desperate but intentional. Climate change is not a story of doom. It is a story of transformation of a species learning to evolve before it extinguishes its own shelter. AI is not the hero, we are. But AI is the amplifier of our courage, the accelerator of our progress, and the proof that brilliance can outpace destruction. The future is not waiting. The future is being calculated, and if we choose wisely, it will be livable, it will be green, it will be survivable, it will be ours.